G4TV was something that I grew up with. I loved it for the most part. And then over time, it started to go downhill. And recently, there was news that it was coming back and, they're, going to be launching it coming back and everything like that. And they got a channel on YouTube. And so I was watching this guy named, let me go to his channel. Young Ripper 59. Now, this is a creator that let's just sit there and say we have a different of opinions on a lot of things. But I just started watching this channel. Well, I just started watching this video, and I can already tell that we may actually be on the same page about this one, because if G4 is going in the direction that I think it is, then yeah, I don't know about this becoming a thing anymore.
During the live show, someone brought this up. So if you're watching this after the fact, this was a segment that was actually influenced by a commenter.
By the way, I will leave the original video up in the description. So if you want to sit there and check, out his channel, definitely check out his channel. I don't want to sit there and seem like I'm just, stealing his content.
And I just heard the first audio, and yeah, let's go ahead and watch this together and see what this is about. So G4TV has made a return. This is where some of us used to watch X Play and all that stuff, but they made a return. Probably should have stayed dead. They have some goofy looking chick, and she has some things to say, and I have not. This is gonna be a live reaction. I've seen it being shared around by people. So this is gonna. Only thing I just heard was the first words that she's about to say. Other than that, I have not watched. I've seen it shared around. Never pressed play on it. Never heard the audio. So we're gonna watch it together and see what it is that she had to say. Let's check it out.
Sexism in gaming. In joining G4,
everybody's clapping. Is that Adam Sessler? Oh no. Well, he's been compromised. Anyway, something about sexism in gaming. I guess this is a hot topic, very big issue here, because there's a bunch of sexism in gaming. So let's hear. I don't know what she goes by she, right? Hopefully I'm not misgendering her there.
This is not where I thought we were going, but I'm here.
I have no idea.
I'm listening. Yeah.
In joining G4, I was ecstatic to be part of something that I grew up watching as a child. But every time G4 is brought up in various channels, even in this YouTube channel, we have the chat in front of us. I can see you. Without a doubt, there will be backlash because I'm not as bangable as the previous host.
Seriously? Really?
Look, man. That's an insecurity, okay? That's an insecurity. I will tell you right there. That's an insecurity. So I guess maybe people in their live chat are saying she's a funny-looking woman. Look, man. This is what you deal with in the public sphere. If you didn't know this, I guess now you know. You're gonna deal with people saying things. I mean, hell, I do shows where people talk about my hairy shoulders, right? And I purposely now, because I know it irritates some people, purposely wear sleeveless shirts. Sleeveless shirts on You Are Here, because I know they're gonna be talking shit. And you can wear it like me and not be a bitch about it, or you could cry about it. There's a 1 or 2 options there, I guess, that you have. I think you're taking.
Pretty much what Snitch is saying is that if you're a public figure and you're going to be publishing your image or whatever, that's just what's going to wind up happening. Like, That's you know what I'm saying. That's the trade off.
The fucking ladder, there, and that's not the move. I'm gonna hear you out, but that's often not the move. That's not the move.
Somehow,
Talk to him, Frost!
it has somehow.
This fucking cornball next to her, egging her on. She didn't say anything particularly profound, but when you gotta understand, guys, when you are in this echo chamber of people and you say stuff like this, they often think this type of stuff is brave, bold, and pushing the envelope or
Forward
something like
thinking,
that,
yeah.
because they themselves don't ever actually have to leave their bubble and have a discussion with people that are on the opposite side of them. So they're confused and they actually think that they're saying something particularly profound.
Been expected that you can talk about how much you jerked off to women as a compliment. It's not a compliment.
Again, there's probably nobody saying that, and if they are, they're probably purposefully trolling. It's not even anything worth highlighting.
It's dehumanizing and it's weird. Women do not exist to be nice on the eyes for you. Morgan Webb, Olivia Munn did not exist to be nice on the eyes for you.
Well, I will say this. You're fucking out of your goddamn mind, and your producers are probably cringing as they watch this. If you don't think that in TV, women from fucking the weather Whamen, in certain instances, let's say this, it doesn't mean that they aren't talented. It doesn't mean that they aren't knowledgeable. But if you don't think that they are inserted in those positions with the idea that they are going to be easy on the eye, which is
Pretty much they signed up for that. That's literally just to kind of shortcut that. That's literally what they signed up for that. Yeah, they could be knowledgeable in games, they could be great in games, but they're not idiots. Okay, they're not stupid. They know exactly what kind of attention that they were going to get. Hell, they knew what kind of attention they were going to get before they even got on TV. They probably had that attention from guys their entire lives. So this isn't anything new for them.
going to keep people, and definitely it's fucking G4TV. You're talking about something that is going to be watched by predominantly a male audience. That's a fact.
Some basement dwelling
And
people.
because of that, if you don't think that with the people that you just mentioned, Munn and Webb, that they were not put in their positions with the idea that they were easy on the eyes, you're fucking retarded.
Yeah.
They say sex sells, and this is something that people deal with, including folks that are in these positions that are men as well. It's not to say that you won't be instilled if you aren't as attractive as let's say some of these other people, but to act like that's not something that they're doing knowingly is being disingenuous, is being dishonest, and nobody that works in TV would ever admit that like what you're saying there's some sort of truth behind it. Of course they will put there, and it's a plus if they're knowledgeable on the topics that they talk about. But if you take a person that is easy on the eyes and also knowledgeable on something, and someone that is butt fucking ugly and knowledgeable on something, almost always the former is going to get that position in positions on TV. This is just what we're dealing with, and that's not anything that's exclusive to women as well. It's just a reality. It's not anything new, and it's going to be like this to the end of time.
Let's keep clapping for her.
Hey, she cooking, y'all.
And that's just
Seriously?
She's not cooking anybody, you fucking retard. She's not saying anything particularly profound. She's just, there are people in the comments that are saying that I'm not as attractive or might not, or that I'm not as easy on the eyes as some of previous hosts, and she's fucking butthurt about it. That's it. That's the only thing happening here.
Yeah.
It's nothing profound that she's saying. She's not cooking anybody. It's not. At least again, we're a minute into this, and apparently there's 3 minutes and 43 minutes. But let's just keep watching.
is sexism. You don't need to explicitly objectify women or declare that you hate women to be sexist. Just go ahead and check out Thorne's latest meltdown on Twitter for some spark notes. Now, here at XPlay, our reviews are written and produced by a team of people. There are too many games for one person to shoulder the burden, so we divide and conquer. And when we use language like we or I, that's the reviewer. That's coming from the mouth and experience of the reviewer reading that review. And that's not to say that Gerard, TBH, Adam, or myself don't contribute to the reviews. We absolutely do. But it'll always be in varying degrees and take a whole team behind us. That's why we're XPlay and not Adam Play. We have done the experiment and
She acts like she's saying something that's just so profound that it's going to just sit there and blow people's minds away. And I don't even know what to sit there and say about Adam anymore. Like I really don't.
variables. Adam,
Why is he coming through the TV? And he like the main guys, or is it the Covays? I don't know.
Script written by the same writer that I will read the other half of the script for, but I'll be the one flamed. And yeah, it also happens to Gerard.
Oh, I guess she's saying that, I don't know if it's because she's a woman or something, they're particularly going to fire her ass up or something.
TBH, but that doesn't discount the sexism of how it happens to me when it does. Both things can be true, that there is a general hatred of any change that isn't Adam, and that all receive special flame just for being a woman. And I wish I could turn the camera around so that you could see the incredible team that make XPlay. Half of our producers and writers are women. Emily, Abby, Megan, Joe, Jake, Zipper, Gabby. It goes on and on and on. Former writers that are now on ATOS like Vanessa. When you're in our DMs or on those YouTube comments or in Twitch chat right now, those reactionary threads thinking that I'm somehow ruining your current XPlay experience because you can't objectify me how you previously did to Morgan, or that I'm somehow less qualified to speak on something, but you can't quite put your finger on why, even though I'm reading the exact same script as Adam, but you have no problem when he's part of it. You're letting your unconscious biases ruin my day and you're keeping the gaming space.
That's a projection.
2022, we be a bit nicer, a bit more self-reflective, and we enjoy the fact that people are working hard to make free content for you. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Peace.
That's the old, if you don't like and it's funny, she has a similar haircut, right? Old Kelly sued the conic way. If you don't like my, what she say? If you don't like my
I don't even know what to say to that. I don't even know where to start on just how much of an idiot that she comes across as. Yeah, there are going to be certain people that are going to be dicks and trolls and everything like that, but this woman is so butthurt. Here's the thing, she's probably felt like that her entire life. And now that she got to this position, she can sit there and let all her anger, her frustration, and everything out. Because that's literally what she's doing at this point. This isn't about trying to change the minds or anything like that of men and get them to see the error of their ways. No, this is this woman on a power trip. And basically she's sitting there saying, well, if you don't like us, then you can leave. Sweetheart, who are you exactly hurting? I'm just gonna stop it for 1 minute. You know, when G4 decided to come back, I sat there and asked myself a question. Once I got past nostalgic and everything like that, I sat back and I asked myself a question. I said to myself, is it really needed? Is it really necessary? Back in the day, before YouTube was really popping and people were sitting there doing reviews, this is where you had to go to get your reviews. But there's YouTube now. There's so many other creators that I can sit there and watch. Why don't I have to sit there and hear this SJW BS come from this woman's mouth? If you don't like it, leave. Fine. I'm good. I was good when you left. I was good when you came back. I didn't need you then, and I damn sure don't need you now. And what I really don't need is to hear this preachy ass woman sit there and go, sexism, sexism. You men are bad. You treated me like crap. Get over it. A lot of people got treated like crap. When you get on TV, when you put your image out there on TV, that's what's going to wind up happening. TV, internet, whatever. That's what's going to wind up happening. Now this woman gets on TV and it's all but her. And then you got these two jackasses and Adam, God. I don't even know about him. I feel like he needs his own separate video. I'm just going to stop right here. Because I can't sit there and listen to another word come out this woman's mouth. And so, he has a title that says, what does this have to do with games? Not a damn thing. And I think the question really needs to be said, is G4 really necessary? If this is the direction that they want to go, and be all preachy and have these two stupid idiots that are supposed to say, yeah, you goddamn, you really wrote them down, then I'm good. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are good. Like, this is utterly insane. And I love how she kept saying that they're using Morgan Webb and Olivia Munn. I feel like there's this level of jealousy and contempt every time she sits there and brings them up. Every time she brings them up. Listen, you can sit there and watch the rest of his video and, decide for yourselves on, whether you agree with whoever the hell this woman's name is. What do you think about his comments? This is one of those things where it's like, this guy has said some really stupidness over the years. There's been times where he said things where I, completely agree with. He's a very interesting creator. I may not always like the direction that he goes in, which is a lot of times, but I gotta sit there and say, topics like this, or at least this particular video on, and granted, I can't sit there and listen to the rest of this, but so far we are 100% on the same page. G4, if this is the direction that you want to sit there and go in, good luck. I don't know who the audience that you're going to sit there and try to appeal to. I mean, you pretty much just had this woman practically bash all the men audience that actually like this, they like G4. And you're gonna sit there and get this woman to speak. This is the idea that you have. Not to mention that you're pretty much competing with a lot of different influencers, a lot of different people who are doing game reviews and things of that nature. So it's like, all right, this is cool for nostalgic for like a good 5 to 10 minutes, but after a while, it's like, no, I'm good. I mean, listen, there's a whole history of the downfall of G4TV. There's a whole history about that. Let me go back to, I can't look at this one any longer. There's a whole history on the downfall of G4. I think if you just type in G4 and it like cancellation or the downfall of G4, there's a guy that pretty much sums it up very well. Now, what I will sit there and say before I go is that for me, when I was watching G4, because I used to watch it every day, sit there and watch it. Like the minute I got out of school, that's what I was sitting there doing. X-Play was my show. Attack of the Show was kind of like my second show, really, but it was more like X Play and stuff like that. But if I have to sit there and say, like, when I started noticing, when I the minute that G4 went downhill in a lot of ways is when they had Ninja Warrior. Don't get me wrong, I love Ninja Warrior. It is a great show. It's a very entertaining show. I definitely think it was smart for them to sit there and bring it on there. But when they brought that show on there, what they did was that they showed that, because G4 is supposed to be about video games and tech and geek culture and everything like that. But when they brought that show on there, what they did was say, you know what, G4 doesn't have to be about all that stuff. And from what I heard, a lot of the people that ran G4 didn't even really like video games. So after a while, they start bringing in other shows, like other Japanese like game shows, and then they bring in cops, and it just starts slowly going downhill, and now they're back, and this is the direction that those jackasses wants to go. And you got women like her that think that she's so bold and so forward thinking, and you men are the problem. You men need to sit there and straighten up. Just keep in mind, and I'm not sitting there defending, and let's not get it twisted. I'm not sitting there defending some of the basement dwelling people that will say nasty, rude, mean, disgusting comments. I'm not defending that. But you don't sit there and practically target your audience and sit there and practically say that you are bad people, and if you don't like it, you can leave. Because, sweetheart, we're not in 2000. We're not in the year 1990, 2000, the early years before YouTube. Okay? No one wants to sit there and be preached to like that. I understand her message. I get where she's coming from. And I'm not even going to sit there and say that she's wrong on some of the things that she's saying, but the way that she chose to go about it, it's not needed. It's not needed. It's not necessary, especially in that aggressive manner. Like, she's been building this stuff up since she was, I don't know, in high school. This was not the way to go. If you don't like it, leave. Sweetheart, you're on YouTube. All I got to do is sit there and just move my little mouse. Beep. Well, I have to sit there and listen to her anymore. And that goes for the other thousands and millions of people who watched that and was like, yeah, I don't need to sit there and listen to that. Or you messed up. I don't think it can't be fixed, but sometimes with the internet, it only takes one. It only takes one. One little message, one jackass person to sit there and screw everything up. But you want to be all forward thinking. So when it fails, and it will, you'll have nobody to blame except for yourself. You get a second chance. And this is what you choose to do with it.